Hey there, water signs. This is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. I am bringing you your money line. Get this money. It's time to get this money. Right after the new moon came through, I started this focus because so many people are dealing with money issues, dealing with issues of self-worth and wealth, and understanding their wealth from a spiritual standpoint, and also being able to manage your wealth intuitively. There is a way to do it. And so in looking at so many people with so many wealth issues, whew, yours just came out all at once. No, it didn't. I'm not taking it. It's too many. Looking at your wealth, looking at your self-worth, and tying all of that together, because there's more than one way to get this money, okay? It's not just about, the hustle, because we be on our hustle game. That's okay. You can be on your hustle. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little hustle. You have to have a little of that. But that's not the only way. So what we're doing is looking at some other ways where we can access our wealth, and we can really look at our wealth and our self-worth for what it is, okay? And not just for the whatevers. Anything goes, okay? It's unnecessary. That's an unnecessary pathway. We can get to our money in other ways, and those other ways are available to us just for the asking. All right, so I'm going to be reading from the I Ching. I am going to be pulling 2 cards for the water signs, and then I'm also going to be pulling 3 cards, one for Cancer, one for Scorpio, and one for Pisces. So let me go ahead and get those out. One for Cancer. There's Cancer, Scorpio. Water signs, y'all, is going to be a little bit longer because I pre-shuffled last time for everybody else, but didn't have a chance to do it. So this is for, we got Cancer. We're looking for Scorpio, please. Thank you. Scorpio. That's familiar. And Pisces is the last one. And then what I'll do is also follow up with these 3, the individual readings for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I will be pulling tarot cards to follow up with that, or to, give a little more detail to those readings, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make that happen while we're talking. I decided to use the I Ching because the I Ching is associated with coins. It's associated with money. And since everybody's trying to get their coins, I figured maybe I would just use the coin method. So it requires a reading of a passage. So you get the number of the passage that corresponds to the hexagram. You look at the changing lines. I know this is a lot of information. If you want to know more about I Ching, I can help you out with that, or you can find that information online. But then it corresponds to a specific reading from the I Ching text. So I'll be reading directly from the I Ching text as soon as I pull all of these supplemental reading cards, okay? If you'd like to take a deeper dive, if you want to know more about what's happening with your finances, or if you want to use intuitive tools to help you guide your financial development, or to help you get your portfolio together, or if you want to know what's up as far as your money is concerned, you can reach out to me. I'm at Carrie, K-E-R-R-I, at wooingnature.life, and we can take that deeper dive if you need to take a deeper dive. But this is just general. This is for the month of November 2019, and this is for my water signs money advice and money guidance for the water signs. All right, we got all the cards out and on the table. I have my glasses, thank God, because otherwise I'd be hurting, because the little writing in this Holitzka book is seriously small. You have the number 55. It looks like a coin, doesn't it? It looks like a coin. So just on the image alone, which is Klaus Holitzka's image, it seems to follow right through. Now, my friend told me that I wasn't looking in the camera. He did my critique today, and he told me I wasn't looking in the camera. I told him indigenous people don't look directly in the camera. All right. All right. So, water signs. This image here corresponds to the passage called plenty. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. In terms of I Ching, plenty signifies that inner clarity and worldly success are united insofar as the whole wealth of life can be experienced. Well, that's interesting. This constitutes a true peak of experience for human beings. Once it begins, a beginning in the sense of a cosmic cycle of life, the descent renews towards the planes of everyday life. Ooh, this is deep. This is an entirely natural phenomenon, and you should not therefore mourn the transition of fortune, the transitoriness of fortune and success. This is an entirely natural phenomenon, and you should not therefore mourn the transitoriness of fortune and success. Gather your strength in order to meet the future challenges before the wheel of fortune takes you to the top again. The work you do now is an investment in the future. Enjoy plenty for so long as it lasts. So it looks like November is going to be a time of plenty for you, but then there's also this sort of subliminal warning about, or not warning, but just, guidance in a way about the ebb and flow of life. And I think one of the things that gets people kind of all discombobulated is is the ebb and the flow. Like there's ups and downs in life. That just comes with the territory. So if you're in business for yourself and you're feeling that, just know that when you're having this downturn, that there's something else that's coming up on the other side. So it's talking about true peak experiences. It's talking about inner clarity and worldly success being united. So when you're clear on the inside and that worldly success mirrors that, that's the peak experience. That's what you're really looking for. It's not just the material success, it's when the inner and the worldly success are all there together. And that's some powerful juju. All right, so it's talking about the cycles. It's talking about a cosmic cycle of life. It talks about when it begins. So when that ascent, when that plenty is there, then it's already headed toward the other end. So preparation, preparing yourself while you're on top of your game, to me seems to be a really good thing to think about in terms of where you are in terms of your wealth right now, water signs. So it looks like you guys are probably in pretty decent shape for the month of November. You're probably having some good things come in. Maybe your finances are in good place. But what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is to take something and sit it to the side for yourself for when those times may change. It's like being prepared. And then the changing line is this mountain. I think that's pretty interesting too. But the changing lines here are number 2 and number 6. So 2 and 6 are changing. So we will read lines 2 and 6, which just give you a little more information, water signs, a little more depth. And one of these may relate to you, one of them may not relate to you, or they may both resonate with you in one way or the other. Please forgive me with this shirt and its many possibilities. All right, line 2. Intrigue and complication abound. Everything you do becomes a delicate matter. Expect to cause distrust even if you are entirely innocent. So it is much more advisable to stick to the truth. So this, I'm thinking, is about like going into contract and doing business deals. If you're dealing with anybody, or if you're having to if you have a business deal, or you're negotiating a contract, or you're just dealing with people in the workplace in some capacity, truth and honesty is of the utmost in order for you to stay in line with your with the spiritual vibration where your money is. Okay, so this again, this is about tying your spiritual and your material together. So what this is saying is that you got to remember, in times of plenty there's also times of lack. And then this line specifically is talking about not just intrigue, but complication. Now, you know, when you have a whole lot going on for you, it's intriguing to other people. They become curious. They want to know what's going on behind closed doors. And then they start investigating or making up stuff, which is where the complications happen. So you're preparing yourself for that. Everything you do is a delicate matter. See, this comes with plenty. This comes when you have plenty. So don't complain about it. Just know it's going to be there and prepare yourself for it. And then they tell you how. Stick to the truth. Stay to the truth of who you are. Stay to the truth of the mission. Stay to the truth of what you signed off on in the contract. Even if you don't like it, stick to it anyway. And then that way, nobody's got a problem. Okay? Get your contracts, people. Don't do work without a contract. And then be honest about what it is that you want. Be honest about what it is that that you're asking for. What is a fair price for you? Don't go and go less than your fair price in your contract, and then you're going to be mad later because you're like, well, I should have gotten more. Now you got a complication inside yourself that you didn't need. So sit down and work all of that out before you go into negotiation. Know what your high number is. Know what your low number is. Know what you're not going to go under and stick to it. That's being truthful. That's being honest with yourself about what you need and what you got to have to pay your bills and make sure, baby got new shoes. You got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure that you have all of your pieces in the puzzle. So it's not just about telling lies now. I hope ain't nobody out there telling lies and making up a whole bunch of stuff on the hustle game, because that's going to come back and nab you in November if you are doing that. Stick to the truth of the situation, water signs. Truth of you, truth of what it is that you said you came to do. Line 6. Am I reading the right ones? For some reason, I wanted to second guess myself. All right, 6. The endeavor for wealth and success can lead to the alienation of people close to you. Guard against recklessly trying to accumulate worldly treasures. You could lose your spiritual treasures. Now, that is two heck of a warnings. That's two heck of a warnings for you. Again, these are the things that come with plenty. So I think this is for water signs, but I think this is a really good message to share with just about anybody, that while you're asking for a lot of things and you want a lot of things and you want a lot of money, you want $1 million or $2 million, or you want to be a billionaire, or you're putting it out in the universe, how much money you want to accumulate. Eventually, you know how they say, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't ask for what you want. You should. You should ask for what you want. But with everything, there is something. That's just life. So with being poor, there's a set of circumstances that you're going to deal with. Like you ain't going to know if you're going to be able to pay your light bill next month. Or you're going to be wondering where your next meal is coming from. And you're going to be praying. A lot of praying. People, boy, they do a lot of praying because they have to rely on that to make it. Now, when you have a plenty, you got another set of things that you're going to be doing. You're going to be calling your lawyer. You're going to be investigating your accountant. You're going to be doing a whole lot of contracts. You're going to be sitting around jaw-jacking with people, and they're going to be on your nerves because they're going to be talking all around what you want, and you want your bottom line, and you want your check. You're going to be hunting down your check, or somebody going to be hunting it down for you, one or the other. And you got to deal with these things right here. Okay? So don't get bent. Don't turn it into, oh God, how's my good time going to turn into a bad time? It's not going to turn into a bad time if you stick to your truth. If you stick to your truth. And if you remember, guard against recklessly trying to accumulate worldly treasures. Because the spirit is at stake. Amen. I'm just telling you what the I Ching said. All right. So that's your message. Water signs. And then we're going to get this all broken down here for my Cancers first. And then my Scorpio. And then my Pisces. All right. Let me just get my little stuff in order. All right. So, I've been talking about this book and the fact that I thought it was going to start tearing up, and it has. But anyway, it's a good little book. All right, here we go. 20, number 20, number 20 for you, Cancerian souls. There you go. I think that's really a beautiful image to me. Look at that. Look at it. Look like you just came up out the dust and now you're saluting the flag. All right, let's see what it's really about. Observation. You in the observation deck. Cancer in November. This sign has a double meaning. On the one hand, it signifies that you're observing something closely. On the other, it means that you yourself are being observed and standing in the spotlight. Ooh, double-edged sword. By observing cosmic laws, a knowledge is gained which affects everyday life right down to the finest detail. These laws grant great power to the one who understands and knows how to use them. Such a person possesses true leadership qualities by using intuition and sensitivity instead of force. You're not trying to break the door down. You're being sensitive to what's going on around you, and you're using your intuition. Use this valuable time to try out new ideas and alter those which have become outdated. Trust is created by your efforts to do justice to people and relationships, and through trying to understand them in their respective contexts. This is telling you where your money lives. Cancer. It's telling you where your money lives. So if you are short, if you have been trying to do something, if you've been close but no cigar, this is the information that's coming through. It's about leadership. It's about people. It's about being sensitive to people. It's about using your intuition. It's not about force. It's not about going to get it. It's not about that. Your open attitude will create unity and harmony in personal relationships. So it's relationship building for you. Being able to access greater wealth is looking at the wealth of the wealth in the people, and that came in somebody else's reading too about the wealth of the people. I think it was the earth signs, and you guys are partners, so get with your earth sign people, let them talk about what's going on with the people. But these relationships and sensitivity to that is really what's going to send you over the edge. That's really what's going to set you apart. You're already in a place of plenty. Even though you got your warnings, you might have felt some kind of way, but hey, it's better to take the bitter with the sweet right now than to mess around and not get the bitter and the sweet and then have it hit you and blindside you upside your head because you weren't ready for it, right? So, yeah, you are observing and you are being observed. So there's some people who are watching you, some people paying attention to how you doing, how you get down, and how you do business. And then there's also some people out there who you need to see, and who you need to see from here, not just from here, right? And not just from here. Yes. The people will bring you the money, but they're not going to bring you the money if you don't feel them, or if they don't feel like you feeling them. All right, so I've got in this in your supplemental, I don't know what I want to call those, like detail cards, because like for me, tarot cards are like, if I want to get certain kinds of details, I go to the tarot. So the detail cards. All right, so we have oppression here, some burdens, some things, and it's hard to see because the lighting is horrendous in this space. But at any rate, it's a woman carrying a bundle on her head. So there's this sense, and the card is oppression. It's the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands deals with burdens and troubles and struggles and strife. And maybe you're feeling some of this right now. Maybe you're feeling a little of the pressure of being seen, and maybe not quite getting where you need to get as far as how you're delivering your service or your product or whatever it is that you're doing. And if this is just, a general work situation, I don't know why. I just keep feeling like this is an entrepreneurial type thing. But if it's not about that, then even in your workplace, people are watching you. People are paying attention to how you do your work. But you need to be observant of them as well. And you also need to be sensitive to what they're going through. Some people come to work, they got a whole lot of problems on their shoulders. They are feeling like this. they're feeling oppressed. They're feeling like they don't know what to do, and then they might be showing out, acting like Cheetah, as we like to say. Shout out Tamara Porch. Acting like Cheetah. You know what I'm saying? Because they're dealing with their own oppression, their own stress, or whatever. Well, if you are observing that and if you are being sensitive to that, then you can, I don't know, be the employee whisperer or something. I don't know. All right, so Three of Pentacles in reverse shows me that, some of your creative juices are not, hey, you kind of lost maybe a little flavor, a little savor, a little creative juice. It could be because you're going through your own stress, the stress of your own outside stresses, inside stresses, stresses in general, and that's jacking up your creativity. This, I know, probably has nothing to do with observation, but maybe it's about observing yourself and your environment as well and seeing what's happening. But I am definitely getting that it's burdensome and it's affecting your ability to, for your mind to be working. So you need to let some of those extra things go. You need to let some of that go. I'm trying to think of how that ties into the observation thing. I do feel like the observation thing may be really paying attention to. I really feel like that's really about paying attention to the people around you, either in your workspace or either your clients, if these are your clients, or if these are your potential clients. Being very sensitive to them, and that they are also watching to see what you're going to do. If you're feeling the pressure from that, is the question that I have. If you're feeling some pressure from that, then go back and listen to those admonitions that you had from the general water signs about how to deal with people and what to do and what not to do. Keep that in mind for yourself, but most of all, you need to release, let go, surrender some of that. And just, be Cancer and go with your flow, go with your rhythm. Don't get too bogged down with that. All right, moving right along from Cancer to Scorpio, you've got card number 13. This one you share with the earth signs. The earth signs, this was their card. So Scorpio, if you are wanting to kind of pal up or connect up with some people, I would get with an earth sign, because the earth signs also have this as their November focus. So this is about communion with humanity. It's about the circles and the connections that you make, them being attached to your wealth and how they are affecting your wealth. So the people around you and the circles that you have been a part of, those people who you have had close connection with over, I don't know, how long you've been working or doing what it is that you do best. But these connections are really where your money is. So if you are feeling like, oh, I've been putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into this job or into these tasks, then kind of sit back in your chair a little bit and look around at the person at the cube next to you and the person at the cube over from you. Go hang out in the teacher's lounge or go hang out at the water cooler sometimes, Scorpio, because these people probably have gifts, have other things they do on the side. Some of these people have second jobs doing the very thing that you are interested in. Some of these people have great ideas. They're not talking about them because they're in the cube just like you. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Same thing for anybody. I don't care if you're in the cube or not. I'm just saying, like, if you're Scorpio and you need to look at your circles, you need to look at the people you're around and the communion of humanity being the place of your wealth, or where that wealth or greater wealth lives. Complete togetherness with humanity is only possible if you share a common goal and everyone is free to develop individual talents. Only then can harmony rule and yield a sense of unity. If you wish or are requested to take on responsibility in a team or group, you should ask yourself honestly whether you possess sufficient strength and clarity of thought for the task. A sense of justice, social awareness, and organizational skills are further essentials for the job. Support the objectives of your group unconditionally and ensure the equal rights of each participant. This is not a time to make a name for yourself on your own terms. So this is not about you being the head honcho, whatever. I don't want to say what I was going to say, in charge. But what I'm saying to you is that this is your value. The people that are around you are valuable to you, and you need to be fully aware of that. You need to really take that into consideration, as far as it being a vital piece to the puzzle of you acquiring greater wealth, or getting your money, or doing what it is that you're trying to do as far as your life purpose is concerned, and tying in your life purpose to the work that you do every day. That's a real critical part of it. See, we have this Three of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups is about people coming together. And then what I'm seeing here is that you're not seeing that yet, Scorpio. You're not seeing how they're the missing pieces to what you're looking for. So look to them for some inspiration. I'm seeing this Ace of Wands as being inspiration, fire, something to get you motivated. And then that will help take some of this stuff off your mind, because I'm seeing that you got a lot on your mind, a lot praying on your mind, or whatever. You may be in a position where you have a lot of tasks that you're trying to do, and you're trying to do it all, and trying to, do it all. And then there's some people around you that could be helping you, that could be helping to push your vision forward, and be glad to do it. But you got to really appreciate them, and you got to really understand what purpose they're serving in your life. All right, so moving right along, we are going to this is Scorpio, this is Pisces. Pisces, yours is number 41. Number 41, Pisces. All right. This is about reduction. Reduction and increase are polarities. So reduction and increase. We're talking about polarities. So Pisces, that doesn't surprise me, because y'all got fish going upstream and one going downstream and all kinds of other stuff like that. So what you want to do is pay attention to the polarities right now. Both come and go depending on what is ordained. So these are things that are factors that are beyond your control. Beyond your control. If you find the right approach toward reduction, you will profit from it. If you find the right approach towards reduction, then you will profit from it. But at the same time, it fundamentally doesn't matter which aspect of life reduction seizes upon. This is a deep message. So try to develop patience and staying power. Find a modest approach. Modest means in the middle, the balanced approach. Consider your inner strength. What is within is more important than what is without. What is within, as far as your profit, is more important than the profit itself. Work on yourself is more important now than worldly success. Set aside inner reserves which you can call upon later. Okay, so set aside inner reserves which you can call upon later. The things you now learn and integrate into your personality will later repay you twice over. Wow, Pisces, I'm telling you, this is a lot of things. So I want to make sure that you're hearing it. You can always rewind and go back and play and all of that kind of stuff. But this information right here, I think, is really critically important, because we're talking about reduction and increase. It's reduction. So it's like reducing what you have to pull back on, the things that have to be reduced. It says if you find the right approach toward reduction, you'll profit from it. So I want you to examine that. I really want you to think about that statement, meditate on that statement, and then bring it back. This is really an interesting image as well. It talks about inner strength. It's saying that what is within is more important than what is without. Work on yourself is more important right now than worldly success. So I'm going to say for you, for sure, for certain, during the month of November, spend some time doing some inner work around value, your own value, your self-worth, wealth and what you perceive it to be. Examine where your money is right now, whether you're happy with where you are or you're not happy with where you are, how much more you want and why. You really want to do some deep dive digging into this during the month of November. And it's saying profit for you, but it's understanding the reduction. It's almost like if you take this time to deal with reducing, pulling back. Maybe you're not spending as much. Maybe you're streamlining your budget. Maybe this is the time to really pull back and say, okay, what's the bare bones? What's the minimum that I can live off of and save some money to the side for myself? It could come in any form, but the main thing is to take reduction or this opportunity to reduce or to consume less as a lesson in how to profit later. And that's all inner work. That's beautiful. May not sound like it, but it sounds like it to me. You want to take a deeper dive, you know who to call. We got the Four of Cups in reverse. That's all about stopping that control, not controlling. You're not controlling it. You're going to let it sit in the middle. I always think about, you know how when you overcorrect, you know how when you're driving and you go veer too far to the left or the right and then you overcorrect, now you're fishtailing. You don't want to fishtail, Pisces. What you want to do is get it centered. You want to take the wheel and put it in the middle and drive down the road. Control, definitely something to think about. Seven of Wands is tackling a lot of different things at once, making some decisions, putting your hands on the things that you really want to put your hands on, and then the things that you don't, let them go. That's an important part of releasing control too, because I'm seeing like there's a lot of things you may want to do, or there may be some opportunities or supposed opportunities that are coming to you. But right now it's a time of reduction, not a time of trying to tackle a whole bunch of stuff at once. It's time to reduce. You may need to take some things off your plate. All right, Seven of Pentacles. I always see this as being, you know, the concentric circles. It's like you're drawing lines in the sand, but then you're seeing where your lines and other people's lines connect. But it's important for you to know where your lines are. It's important to know what your bare bones are. You know, what are your own limits and what are your own limitations? And reduction can definitely, dealing with reducing and pulling back will definitely, absolutely show you where your bottom lines are. It'll tell you who you are and what you can tolerate, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. It'll do it for you. But then after that is what I'm seeing is that you're going to then start making these other connections with other people. Okay? But not before you deal with this other stuff. Not before you really, really, really get down and dirty with that Pisces. Oh, I know what that is like. Oh, I know what that is like, Pisces. I love y'all. I wish y'all the best in November. If you need me, you know who to call. If you need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. This has been Get This Money for November for my water signs. Like I said, get with your earth signs. Those are your partners, especially you, Scorpio, because you need to definitely get with some earth signs. If you'd like to take a deeper dive, if you want to look specifically at what's going on with your finances, I can definitely do this for you. The other thing is that if you are looking to manage your financial portfolio, if you are looking at an overall picture and you're trying to build your wealth and you want to do that and manage that intuitively, we have that available to you. You can reach out to me on the website, wooingnature.life. You've got the email address. I hope you have a great November. I hope you get this money in November. And until I see you the next time, I hope you have a fabulous life.